All eyes will be on France and New Zealand, but there is another game to be played in Pool A this weekend. My name is Mark. Let's talk rugby. Italy v Namibia. It's at the Stade Geoffroy Guichard in Saint Etienne. It's on Saturday the 9th of September, and kickoff is 12 BST. This is world rank 13 versus world rank 21. So 8 places between them in the rankings, but I think it's a big gulf, in terms of that area where Italy are down to where Namibia are. It really is a bit of a drop off. And also I think the trajectory of the two teams or two unions is very different. Like Italy are a coming nation. We can see that at under 20 level, and we're seeing performances, maybe not results, with their senior team as well. Namibia, just 8 games since the last Rugby World Cup, and World Rugby had to step in there because of corruption and stuff like that. So yeah, two unions heading in very different directions at the moment. We'll have a look at the teams, starting with Italy. So fullback, we have Tommaso Allan. Second playmaker seems to be, very kind of in vogue at the moment, and Italy are going with that as well. It absolutely suits the way that they like to play. They like to hold onto the ball and throw it about, maybe a bit too much for most of our liking, but it's still exciting to watch. And Allan is very capable of doing that from fullback, coming into the line and acting as a second distributor. Right wing then, we got Ange Capuozzo. It's great to see him back. Injury kept him out of the Six Nations, and he missed kind of the tail end of the season as well. So hopefully he is fully fit, and we'll be able to show, the qualities that we know that he has. He's so dangerous with ball in hand, and it looks like, the fact that he's on the wing and Allan is a fullback, that the players that tried there, the likes of Bruno, I think Pani got tried there as well, that they weren't working out, and Capuozzo was probably the best option to get all of your best players on the field at one time. Into the centres then, we got Juan Ignacio Brex and Luca Morisi. So, with no Menoncello available due to injury, I think this is the best centre partnership that they have going. And, Brex, he's got a great offloading game, and, he's always on the lookout to try and put someone through a gap as well. On the left wing then, we got Monty Ioane. So he was unavailable for Six Nations due to Super Rugby commitments, but came back in the warm-ups and didn't miss a beat, and really did improve their attack as well. So, pretty dangerous players there going forward. So, but I think for Italy, it's about playing in the right areas of the field so that, those players, when they make breaks, are scoring tries rather than just getting out of their own 22. Halfbacks then, we got Paolo Garbisi. Looks like he's going to be the starting 10 for most of the Rugby World Cup, barring injury, and alongside him, Stephen Varney. So a decent combination there. Into the back row then, we got Lorenzo Canone, Michel Lamoureux, and Sebastian Negri. So Canone didn't play in a lot of the warm-up games, but certainly if I was picking their best back row, he would be there at number 8. Then Michel Lamoureux, such an inspirational captain, and I think he's beyond even his playing career. I think he's going to have a big impact on Italian rugby. He just seems that kind of character that wants to lift the nation up and get the nation excited about rugby. Then we've got Sebastian Negri, and he finishes off what is a pretty quality back row. Into the second row then, we've got Federico Ruzza and Dino Lam. So Ruzza, was excellent in the Six Nations and through the URC season as well. The barnstorming runs really gives them go forward. And then you got Dino Lam is maybe filling in there until the other Canone brother maybe comes back. I don't know how long he's actually out for, but hopefully he's not going to miss the entire World Cup. But, Dino Lamb showed that he's at least a decent deputy to put in there. On to the front row then, we got Simone Ferrari, Giacomo Nicotera and Danilo Fischetti. So I think, again, probably the strongest front row that they could have picked. Ferrari and Nicotera, they had decent Six Nations, but Fischetti really stood out, not just for Italy, but I think in the entire tournament as one of the best front rowers in the tournament. So a really strong team that they picked there. Most people are giving them absolutely no hope of making the knockout stages because they're in the same pool as France and New Zealand. But if they are to have any chance, they need to put up a big score in this game and kind of build confidence and then try and knock over one of those big two when they meet them. On the bench then we have Faiva, Neymar and Riccioni. So not bad substitutes, for the front row, but it is a little bit of a dip though compared to the starting quality. Then we have David Sisi and Manuel Giuliani. So, those are pretty decent replacements there. Then you got Martin Page, Reed. Again, probably a bit of a step down from what's starting. And then Paolo Ogdogu, who he had moments in the warm-ups, but still, I think if you look at the back line there, it's a step down with both him and Bruno coming on. I think Bruno, he had that chance on the right wing to really make that his own, and he wasn't able to do it. The guy, he can't score tries, but all around game maybe needs to improve. And I think, looking at it, Capuozzo definitely offers you more than he does, but still he'll do a job when he comes on. On to then the Namibia team. So don't know too much about these guys. Looking forward to seeing them though and learning about them. So front row, they've got Seti, Van Jarlsveld and Kotsia. Second row then is Ludik and Univi. Then the back row is Conradi, Retief and Hardwick. Backs then you got halfback Stevens and Swanepoel. Swanepoel, probably one of the few players that I've heard of and actually seen play. Left wing then we got Grayling. The centres we got Danko Berger and Johan Dazel, who's the captain. And then right wing is Moton, and at the back we have Rousseau. On the bench then we have Benaid, Van der Verstegen, Vivier, de Klerk, Gauseb, I think, Theron, Van den Berg, and LaRue Milan. So, as I said, don't know all that much about these guys. They've hardly played at all since the last Rugby World Cup. They played their just 8 tests. That included the qualifying series that they had to go through to get into this one, and then 3 warm-up games, and that was pretty much it. So, for teams like this, World Rugby needs to assist them and get them more games. 8 games in 4 years. It's just crazy. You can't build a team on that. Even 8 games in a season kind of makes it hard for a test coach as well, just to find his kind of, what's his best 15. So hopefully, something's going to be done about that for the future, for Namibia and for other teams like them as well. In terms of the last time that these two teams played, it seems to be, I don't know what it is about Rugby World Cups, but it seems like teams always end up in the same pools. So Italy were in the same pool as New Zealand, in Japan, and also Namibia. So in 2019, Italy won 47-22. Namibia actually, took an early lead in that one. Wasn't long though until Italy struck back, and Italy were kind of, ahead and in control by half time, stretched away at the beginning of the second half, and that both teams scored tries towards the end. But Namibia is showing, at least, even if they're not playing all that much, they can, maybe not cause a shock, but at least, cause some worries to teams like Italy. They're going to want that margin though to be closer this time around, just to show that there is a possibility sometime in the future of them, knocking over a team like Italy. But I think this Italy team is going to have too much for them. And in terms of how I think the game is going to go, I think it's going to be similar to the last one, where maybe Namibia caused them problems early on and Italy will cause themselves problems, I think, in terms of the way they like to play the ball close to their own line. But I think overall, the quality they have compared to Namibia will be enough to get them over the line, and it should stretch away. It should be a bonus point victory for Italy, and it is probably going to be somewhere, a 20 odd point margin, I would say, in the end. So, for these guys then, let me know what you think, how this game is going to go, and who you're backing out of these two.